What up, you guys? Welcome to the channel where we make StarCraft into one of the most epic ways to play, win, and get reactions from people. What is going on, you guys? Hope you guys are well. Today we got a pretty fun and epic game. It's almost like a 2 vs 3 because our ally died pretty early, and then I ended up ending this game with a pretty massive nuke on the host, which is over at 9 o'clock here. His name is Ursadana, and so it was pretty funny because he was struggling really hard to try to essentially not get nuked, but we still managed to pull it off, so it was pretty epic. And then obviously our ally over here at 1 o'clock, he pretty much died, and so the game kind of got really intense because we're like, it's a 2 vs 3 at this point, and obviously we got to make this happen, right? And the away team thought that they pretty much had this in the bag, but to their surprise, it was a pretty fun game. So hopefully you guys stick around and check this one out. Hey guys, if you guys like this sort of content, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on all the fun troll plays we're going to do on players. Like this one, and this one, and of course this one. And as always, guys, make sure to drop some thoughts, comments, or any fun ideas you guys may have. Alright guys, let's get back to the game. Guys, I'm playing as Keo. I'm actually not him. I'm sure you guys have seen him before. He's pretty infamous online. For some reason, people love to kill him. I've had no issues with him before. He seems like just a regular guy, but I'm playing as him to get some really fun reactions because I think a lot of people love to kill him. But then, obviously, when they play against me, they're gonna get they're in for a big surprise. So it's gonna be pretty awesome here, guys. I've got a buddy here, Ego Yard. I'm sure you guys have seen him before on a few other videos. He's playing as Terran at 1 o'clock. Then we got this guy over here. He's a pub. And then we've got this pink Zerg over here. He's actually pretty good. I'd say he's just above good. He's not like in the category of very good, but he's just above good, which is not bad. And then we've got BBB. I'm sure you guys have seen him before as well too. He's actually a pretty decent player. I'd say he's just slightly above good, and so yeah, he definitely put up a pretty good fight. I've even played against with him on my team as well too, and he's a pretty good ally. And then I'm sure you guys have seen Ursadana. I've had another video of him as well too, and he's not bad. I'd say he's probably just almost above good, so he's not bad. So overall game level for this game, guys, I'd say it's probably just slightly above good, so it made for a pretty fun epic match at the end here, especially because it was 2 vs 3, so it kind of balanced out the skill levels. So I did open up with a wall, and I'm going to be doing some teching. My ally is doing Marines and Medics, and then our ally over here, he's going to be doing, he opened up with 2 gates, which he shouldn't. And let me explain to you guys why. I'm sure there's a lot of people that are watching this. If you guys are a bit more competitive and you guys are pretty good, you guys might want to debate about this, but let me explain why. So if you're playing as a Protoss and you've got 2 Terran allies on your team and there's 2 Zergs, right? You're up against pretty much 12 Zerglings, and they're going to rush you, and they're going to bring probably 8 more Zerglings as well too, and so you're essentially going to die. So instead of going 2 gates and making Zealots, which he doesn't need because we're not going to use it, and he's not going to be able to essentially do anything with it, he should actually be making a wall and getting cannons behind, and all he needs to do is just get 1 cannon, and that's it. And he saves all of this money, and he can actually get gas and then get Corsairs. And once he gets Corsairs, these guys can't go Mutilus anymore. They essentially can't. And then what he needs to do is get one of us to make tanks and just drop it off for his choke. And then he can get Disruption Web, and then pretty much the game is over at that point, guys. But a lot of people don't know this build order and don't know this play, and so they kind of play traditional. And this is a very standard traditional play, and it is extremely difficult. It just makes a lot of work for you. And so again, just a tip, if you guys want to know, I'll probably demonstrate it on a future video for you guys. But yeah. Alright, so back in my base, guys, I've got the factory down, got the machine shop, I'm getting the starport, and I'm probably going to try to do a tank drop just to eliminate some mining from our Terran on the away team here. What we want to do is put time behind him so that they're not going to attack our ally over here. And then I'll probably morph into making Valkyries, because these Zergs are likely going to go Mutilus, which is a very standard traditional play when you're playing like obviously a more adept game. And so I want to make sure I get those Valkyries so then I can take care of those Mutilus, because our Protoss obviously isn't getting Corsairs, right? So, and what you see here in terms of him going to attack, he shouldn't, because they're going to wipe those out. There's no point of him doing anything like that. If anything, if he wants to waste these Zealots, he should waste it on the Terran, because that's going to buy more time, because Zerg is definitely not a threat. If you look at Zerg here, they've got a lair, so they're going to be obviously attacking to Mutilus, which is very normal. And obviously the other one is likely going to go Hydralis, which is, again, pretty normal. you have to get that choke in a 3 vs 3, and a lot of people don't. They make cannons at their base, and that's how you get killed. That's how you can tell the difference between a good player and somebody that's obviously a bit more amateur, or just even, you know, to some extent pretty noob. And so you don't get cannons at your base. You got to get that choke, because if they go in, you're pretty much dead. You got to seal off that choke and contain the amount of units that flows into your base. And so again, if you're a bit more competitive, you'll know what I mean. Alright, so I told my ally, my buddy over here, to scan 9 o'clock just so I can see what's going on. Our ally at 1 o'clock, he's struggling, and pretty much he brought this on himself. So I'm hoping that at least he can, you know, stay alive and just buy us some time here. But very unnecessary. He didn't need to end up like this. So yeah. Alright, so I'm gonna send the dropship. Then I saw that there's an overlord there, and I'm like, okay, I gotta turn back, because he's obviously got Hydralisk, and it's probably not a good return on investment. So I'm gonna have to go and harass Terran instead, and if I can at least wipe out maybe like 6 or 7 SCVs, that'd be a pretty good trade here. So alright, so let's go for that drop, guys. I'm gonna send it over to 9 o'clock here. Alright, so I'm going to have to obviously continue this mission here. Just want to make sure I just target as many SCVs as I can. I'll pick it up now, and I'll drop it inside the minerals here. And what's good here is that he stopped mining. You guys see that? He stopped mining, and that's good, because that's going to put probably about like a minute behind. And so that's what we want. We want this Terran to be really behind here. So I'm trying to target these SCVs, but unfortunately I couldn't get as many as I wished. But at least we got some mining time behind him, and so that's good. Alright, so looks like I'm going to have to kind of change up the build order here, because this Protoss is not ending up in terms of kind of where we were hoping to be. So I'm probably going to have to make 3 factories now. I was intending to actually just go nukes this game only, but then since I saw this, I'm like, okay, I'm going to have to go probably 5 factories. And do some drops here, because I'm pretty much contained. You can see here this Terran's got this wall right here, and he's probably going to put tanks right here. And so I'm going to be contained. There's no point of me pushing out here. So I'm going to have to do some drops here with some Valkyries. So it's going to be a pretty slow game. And it looks like right off the bat we see that there's Mutalisk right away. And this is, again, very standard traditional play here, guys. And there's a tank as well too. So he's he's in a pretty tough situation. And so yeah, he can't go head on with that. He's got to go back. Yeah, he's got to go back. He should have went back there to save at least like 6 Marines and a few medics. Alright, so back at home, I'm going to make a bunch of tanks here, and we're just going to make tanks, do tank drops. I'm probably going to get like 4 dropships, and I'm probably going to get like 6 Valkyries, and I'm going to wait for a counter. So when they do an attack on either my ally or the Protoss here, I'm going to do a counter and do a drop right at their base. And so essentially what I'll do is I'll make them go poke the bear, and then I'll do the counter drop right away. And so I'm going to drop a tank for my buddy over here, because I don't want him to die. I essentially just went right across those mutas, and he didn't even see it, so thank God. And that's what happens, I guess, when you kind of send it across the river here a little bit, and so it kind of camouflaged it. So I'm going to drop those 2 tanks off right there, in case if they do kind of a tank push on him, at least it's gonna buy some time for him. So I told our ally here to make Corsairs, and he still hasn't made it. And you guys can see here, this is what he should have done much long ago. And if he had done that, then he probably would not be behind in terms of where he is right now. But as you guys can see, that's what you got to do. Alright, so the Zerg's trying to make a little harassment down on my base, and I've got this Valkyrie, so there's nothing he can do now. So as soon as you get Valkyries, guys, like Zerg players, they can't essentially use Mutalisks anymore. Once you get like 4 Valkyries, it's very hard for them to do stacked mutas anymore. So just a tip for you guys here. Valkyries are super strong, super strong. I mean, if you get like 16 Valkyries and you're facing like 8 battle cruisers, or sometimes even 10, and if they don't spread the battle cruisers, you can pretty much take them out. So yeah, and even carriers as well too. Alright, so my ally's trying to do a tank creep over here. So this is kind of a strategy where you put tanks along the river here, along your ledge, and then you kind of tank over, and once you do, you kind of push them back, because they can't make turrets here anymore. You'll take those out, You put an eBay over top, and then you drop tanks over here. So that's what he's trying to do. I don't know if he's going to be successful, but we'll see. My ally finally got some Corsairs, but it's pretty much too late now. I mean, I've got Valkyries, so it's kind of redundant at this point. And I'm just doing some scouting here to see kind of what's going on, if they've got expansions. It looks like Pink's got an expansion at 5, so these guys are pretty much like ahead of us here. And so yeah, we're kind of in a tough situation right now because we are 2 Terrans. Anytime you're playing, you know, as 2 Terrans, guys, it's very hard. It's very, very hard. And so you have to play very strategically, and you have to play very strategically, and so you got to be very careful with how you attack, how you spend your money, and the timings and whatnot. So, all right, so they're finally doing a push at 1 o'clock now, so I anticipated that. So I did drop him 2 tanks here, so he should be okay for a little bit. I told him, dude, just go carriers because there's nothing you can do now, because he's so behind. He's getting these Corsairs way too late, and he was harassed so much. So I'm like, dude, just go carriers. There's nothing he can do anymore. So I'm looking for that window, guys. I'm looking for that window for me to counter, and so I'm just waiting for them to see if they're gonna make that attempt to attack purple, and then I'll do that that drop counter. All right, got that expansion, guys. Because it looks like they're not going to go me, so that's great, because obviously I've got tanks and they know that, and so they're not going to go me. They're going to go that Protoss. So I'm sure this Terran here has probably got middle sealed up, and so they're not going to spend resources on trying to kill the Terrans first. They're going to want to kill the Protoss first, which is kind of good. So all right, so we're getting ready for that drop, guys, and it looks like middle. They're all at middle right now. So we scan middle. We can see that they're all at middle. So I'm just waiting for that window, guys. Just patiently waiting for that window for them to go and attack purple, and I'm going to do that drop counter. So I'm telling them to scan 6, and it looks like he didn't because he's busy. So you know what? It's okay because he's doing a drop as I mentioned before. So okay. So I had to pull back because there were some Hydrolists there, and he didn't see it. So thank God. Now I'm going to go over. Instead of dropping here, obviously he's got that prepared, and that's a very typical spot to drop. I'm going to drop it right here instead. And he's only got 1 sunken. So I'll take that out, that 1 sunken out before I siege, and then I'll siege it. And since blue's units are all that middle, he's going to have to pull everything back now. And I've got a vessel as well too, so these lurkers aren't an issue at all. So I'm just going to take all this out. Take out this hive, take out this hatchery as well too, and maybe if I have time I'll take out this Defiler mound as well. And these Valkyries are here, guys, so if there are going to be mutalisks coming, I'm just going to dematrix them, and they'll be able to fight like probably 16 mutalisks. So alright, so it looks like they're making an attack at 1 o'clock here, which is good. So Pink's doing that. I'm going to counter Pink now. So don't need to stick around because I pretty much killed everything. And Blue is pretty much centered at his expansion now. So I'm just going to pick up everything really quick. Don't need to waste time, guys. I'll leave 1 tank here in case if he does try to remake that hatchery. And we're going to go straight to the bottom here and drop right behind these minerals here, guys. Boom. Took out a few drones there on the way out, and then we'll take out this hatchery as well too. And these hydras popping up, they're just gonna die. We'll take out that hatchery as well, and then same thing, guys. I'm just gonna pick it up and go to the next base, which is 3 o'clock. All right, let's go for 3 o'clock, guys. And since Pink is busy at 1 o'clock, I'm just going to drop behind these minerals as well too. So we took out 6, we took out 5, and then we're going to take out 3 o'clock as well. So check this out. And as I mentioned, I just got a D-Matrix, 2 of my Valkyries, and they're going to be super strong. So, and check this out, guys. Pretty good return on investment here because we killed so much. At 6, 5, and now 3. And looks like green is trying to make an attack here. So my Valkyries misclicked there, unfortunately. So I'm just trying to target this hive. And right now I'm telling my ally, I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Why are you still sitting there? This is one of the issues I have, is that when people just sit around, and I'm clearly doing like a 2 vs 1, and he's just sitting there. So the point of the game is, guys, you gotta add pressure, and so you can't sit in your base. You have to keep pressuring. You gotta keep pressuring in all different points, and you gotta watch where you're dropping as well too, because that was very bad. All right, so that's okay. That's good now. That was a pretty good return on investment. Let's go for a push now, guys, and I'm gonna do some D-matrix and push and kill this expansion here. And I'm surprised that he doesn't have any tanks here, which is very shocking. So we're gonna take that out, guys. I don't want them to have a big economy, so I'll take that out as well. Once I take that out, I'm going to do a push over at this expansion as well too, because I don't want blue to have that expansion. And unfortunately, he's got swarm, so I'm going to pull back now because I don't have irradiate yet. I didn't anticipate him to have swarm yet, so I'm going to pull back now. And white dropped right here, which I don't know why, because there's nothing there. I pretty much tanked that already. So alright, so just going to keep these tanks coming, guys. I'm going to get more vessels now because swarm is coming. So got the irradiate finally now, so I'm going to start irradiating all of the defilers. And as you can see here, he's got more defilers, so I'm just going to keep irradiating them. White's doing a push over at 3 o'clock. That's pretty bad control. Oh man. Alright. So I'm thinking I'm going to take this out, this expansion at 6 o'clock out. I'll take that out, and then what I'll do afterwards is I'll push up here, and same thing as what white did over here by taking that ledge. I'm going to push along this ledge here and then drop some tanks here, and I'm going to do a massive nuke on the host here. Alright, so let's take out this expansion first because I want to limit the amount of economy he has. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to irradiate all of these defilers. And that's going to be super annoying. I'm just going to unsiege 4, leave the rest here, because that's what you want to do, in case if you guys don't play Terran, that's what you gotta do. You can't unsiege everything, you gotta unsiege half of it, because in case if you unsiege everything, they're going to do a counter on you, and so you leave half of them unsieged and the other half sieged. I'll bring over the Valkyries as well, in case if he's going to bring some Scourges. Alright, so let's do a little bit of a push into 6 here, to kind of see what's going on. Just kind of want to test the waters a little bit, to see if he's got a lot of units here. Okay, so it looks like he doesn't have much because he's just got Zerglings and a Defiler here. Alright, so I'm just going to irradiate my vessel, and we'll take out those Zerglings because I only have tanks, guys. I don't have Goliaths, so I'm just going to irradiate my vessels like that. We'll take out those Zerglings. Boom. Alright, just going to unsiege everything now. Go back, and the whole point of this, guys, is kind of to add pressure, because what I want to do is add pressure to blue, make him really scared and worried, intimidated, so that he's not going to go and attack me while I do that nuke on green. So I'm going to pull everything back now, and I have the 2 ghost guys, and I'm telling my ally, I said, dude, if you can't go through, you gotta do something else. You can't just sit. That's the problem I have with players, and so. Alright, so I saw those dropships come by, tried to kill it, but didn't have enough Valkyries. So it looks like I scanned 5 and 3, and looks like he kind of rebuilt his base here, but he's still pretty hurt from those attacks I did on him, so that's good. Alright, I'm going to make some fire bats, just in case if there's going to be some Zerglings here. I'm just going to leave them right beside the tanks. Don't want to leave them in front, because they'll do splash damage, but I want to leave the fire bats right beside the tanks, in case if those Zerglings come. Alright, so I'm gonna try to set up this nuke, guys. So if you want to nuke Terran, guys, it's very hard. So what you gotta do is you have to use tanks, or you use Wraiths. But in this case, we don't have Wraiths, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna drop tanks, and we're gonna do a tank creep, drop the tanks, and then I'm gonna do a distraction, and then do a nuke. So I told my ally, I said scan 9 o'clock for me, and as expected, he doesn't have anything here, which is good. So no mines. I was worried about mines, so that's why I wanted him to scan that, so to see if there's any mines. So I dropped the 2 tanks here, and he's probably got tanks right there. So I'm gonna move the tanks back, and I'm gonna dematrix that. Just want to take out that one tank there. Keep dematrixing it. Just take out that one tank, and that's all I need to do. And I use these Valkyries to kill any buildings that'll come over. And just waiting on the nukes. Are the nukes ready? 1 and 2. Perfect. Okay, they're ready. And looks like Pink is trying to send some units over to help. But I mean, I've got these tanks to support as well too, so it's all good. And it looks like he's trying to do a drop, but I've got Valkyries here, so he can't. He's got to pull back. Alright, so let's pick up those ghost guys. I'm going to drop them right here. And he's not expecting this. He doesn't know I have nukes. So this is going to be a big surprise for him, guys. So these tanks are pretty much distracting him. And I already cloaked the ghost. And so he's not going to see it. And he's making a turd right now. So I have to make sure I drop the nukes right away, guys. Alright, so check this out. So he sees it. And so I dematrix the ghost right away because I know he's going to scan it. So I dematrix them. I kept dematrixing it. And check this out, guys. Nuke's coming down. Boom. Boom. There was nothing he could do. Nothing he could do. Alright, guys. So that was mission accomplished. We finally nuked the host. And that took a while. And the reason is because I wanted to make sure I killed the Zergs first. So check this out. He's doing a swarm on me, which is pretty typical because you're going mech, so they're gonna make a swarm on you. So check this out. They're just gonna irradiate all of my vessels, like that, and it's still gonna kill any units underneath of the swarm. And my tanks are also upgraded as well too, and so yeah, it's gonna have a hard time here. I'm telling my ally, I said, like, dude, you're usually much better than this. I don't know what he's doing this game, but I'm pretty much playing like a 1 versus 2.5 right now. And they're sending everything into me, guys. I'm just gonna irradiate everything here. Irradiate all of my vessels. And green is pretty much, I'm sure he's like giving up because he's lost so much. So I think the game is nearing, guys. I think they know it. And they're trying to send Scourges as well too, but I've got the Valkyries, so. Alright, guys, there you have it. Hopefully you guys got to enjoy this one. This one was pretty fun because, again, like, you know, we got to set things up to a pretty good anticipation of a pretty massive nuke. And also we got to strategically kill Zergs in a 2 versus 3. And so hopefully you guys got to see how to set that up. And again, just some fun reactions on nuking people. So guys, drop some comments, some thoughts, any fun ideas you guys have. I love them. If you're new to the channel, guys, come check out more fun content that we have. Tons of different playlists that you guys can check out. And again, this channel is all about a comedic, hilarious outlook on StarCraft. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you guys could support me in subscribing, that would be phenomenal as well, guys. I hope to see you guys on the next one.